Yeah. Making da da. Carry your own load. Speak, humans.
Uh,
Excuse me.
All right, that's confusing.
I know I did it last time.
All right, my right earbud on my Raycon is refusing to connect. Give me a moment.
Rut-row.
That is fine. I will deal with one earbud then.
Rut-row, Raggy.
All right. I'm assuming none of you remember what happened last time.
We got to the heavens.
Yes, you got to heaven.
Sorry.
Um,
I'm trying to figure out how I did mod chat last time. 'Cause that's how I was able to sick people, was going into the mod chat.
Moderator.
Yeah, I don't remember how I did that.
You go to mod view, moderator view or some shit.
Where?
Or you just hover over the comments that happen.
yeah.
I'm on mobile.
Why you on mobile, bitch?
Because I already have too much shit on my screen.
Yep.
Okay, never mind then.
Sorry, I'm playing with my melatonin, so if you can hear it.
Try holding the comment and then press delete.
I've tried. That's fine. I'll just open your stream
I
up on a
also
tab,
have
and if I need to, I'll just alt tab.
I also have it up on my face, like it's in front of my face, so maybe I'll be able to do that. But yeah.
Yes, it's glued onto your face.
Yes, my face is glued to my screen right now because it's important. Um. Would you like me to do recap once again?
Yes, please. Recap is good for both us and the audience.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is just Kevin.
Yeah, it is only him.
Do not bring up the table.
The
What about a
table?
table?
The fuck?
I'm trying to say chair and table, and I said table.
The table is in shambles. Anyways.
Last session started off in front of the cabin that was all withered down and burnt. When the party went inside, it was filled with a few things, a rug and stuff like that. They went down, they did a nice little side quest. They got a few items that they lovingly gave to their party members. Spitfire gained his legendary armor.
And we sped through the freaking thing, giving both the DM and DM's freaking future husband fiance thing aneurysm.
Yeah, that's very true. You did do that.
Aneurysm time.
Giving thing. Giving Spitfire his now legendary armor, as I've decided that is his legendary armor. Molding to his needs of his body. And Techno a nice fun shield that has a stabby on the end of it that comes out whenever he desires. It has a skull on it as well, and he has it on his hip now. Before continuing,
why on his back?
Because his sword is on his back.
You can have a shield and a sword on the back. You put the shield and then you put sword.
Why not?
Behind it.
He has nothing on his hip. Might as well put the shield on his hip. It protects that delicious ass of his. I'm sorry.
All I smell is Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Canadian Tire? Where did this come from?
We have a balloon blower up thing, but whenever you push the air out, it just smells like Canadian Tire. My favorite part, exactly.
I like Canadian Tire. It's cool.
It is.
It
That's where I
has
got
a
one of
very
my favorite
distinct
blankets
smell.
that the bastards still refuse to give me.
Anyways, let's let the DM talk before they kill our characters off.
They've already killed Phobos 50 different times.
Phobos explodes.
Anyways.
Before going down for the night, they decided to play with their spells, finding out that they have a funky little guy named Sebastian who sold them some things, and then they flashed him in the eyes, and he was sad.
And Techno.
Yeah, and then Almarise decided, hey, Techno, look at this.
By
Ah, my
accident.
eyes.
By accident.
It was an accidental my eyes, but it happened. Um, Before laying rest in this cabin, and as the note stated that they found, they destroyed it in the morning, as requested,
Mm-hmm.
before going and walking
Submarines.
through Eden to go to Throne of the First, where they met Adam and Lady Eve. Adam is an eccentric, really sexual man, as Lady Eve seems more royal. You learn that Adam is related to Lord Michael, and that Lord Michael has adopted Allium as his son, and that Lord Michael has favorites. You also learn that Adam hates Allium completely. And you also find out that Lady Eve is the sister to Charlie, Morningstar. You also see Death Hunter, John. That's what you saw. Um, you learned his name was John. He hated it. He hates life now. Before going out on your quest to go find a ship across the way to get to heaven. As you did so, you were under attack by some creatures from the beyond. Death Hunter saves Phobos' life before realizing what's about to happen and taking off. Adam goes to chase but gets what he calls silver dick in his eyes and gets infected.
I got dick in his eyes.
We found the actual name though.
Yeah, you did. Lord Colossal did tell you that. And becoming infected and chasing John into the woods. Eden stood there in shock before Lord Colossal and Lady Decay came out. Lady Decay zoned in on Phobos and just completely zoned as Lord Colossal gives this whole speech and douchebag things as he tosses Techno side to side. And he tells you about how he used to be Lord Fenric, the Lord of the Fae. That Fenric had a stupid moral thing that made him eat the heart of Icrador, causing him to become colossal, as Colossal would say, something greater. Before saying that the heart of Egrador, the last god of death before the one that is in power right now, is what's causing the disease, and the disease is called Egrador. After the god.
Egg in the door?
Egrador. Egrador.
Sorry, egg in the door.
Egg in the door.
Egradors, right?
Yeah.
Egrador? Okay, cool.
Before the creatures attack you, you hear Colossal toss Techno to the ground and tell. Well, Techno took some of his teeth before he tossed him to the ground. Techno's like, those are my teeth now, bitch. Leave my egg door, bitch.
Egg in the door.
I'm being made fun of. Mean.
Did I start a whole thing?
Yes.
I can't see it. I can't see who. It's probably Kevin.
Yeah, he put egg rug door. Rude. Before a cutscene started of Lady Decay, after snapping out of what it was, but was mumbling mother under their breath as they realized the look that she was staring at them with was parental before getting into cutscene fight with Techno. Parental?
Yeah, the correct wording would be parental, not parental.
Parental.
I will come in that room, and I will find the sharpest object in there, and I will take
Whose room?
them to your clothes.
No.
Bitch.
I like my skirt.
So much skirt.
No, I like my skirt.
Techno goes through this whole thing where he starts to have a panic attack after seeing decayed, demented beings of the party and Lord Allium standing behind them as its little hallucination that Lady Decay put up, before looking completely insane slaughtering the chunks of flesh that shifted into the decayed, rotten part of the party, and making Lady Decay shift back into herself and cutting her open before stopping, realizing that there's someone inside, putting her hand on his face before he turns around after Colossal takes her and passes out. And then you get into your fight. It's a fun little time. Then you get your legendaries, which both of you loved. I triggered your autisms.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no fucking.
Mm-hmm. So you're not gonna tell me that Kingdom Hearts isn't your special interest?
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Precisely.
No, fuck
Before.
you. I totally are just chewing on a chewing necklace because it helps.
Yeah, not autistic at all. Borderline
No,
I'm gonna give
autistic.
myself a seizure.
Um, before continuing on, Lady Eve departs, not being able to continue, worried about her husband and requesting if you find a cure for Egredor to bring it to her immediately so she can have her. The party obliges before going, finding two men screaming at each other.
Oh, I don't need to relive this.
Two men that Amaris knows Disc and Augustus fighting. At the end of their fight, Augustus thinks it's better to stop after Amaris has her breakdown of rage and anger and everything weighing down on her. He agrees to stop. Disc might seem to agree to stop before taking his knife and driving into Augustus. Amaris slaughters Disc before watching as Augustus left this world, per his request, as he was ready to go and he just wanted to see his them again. You now know Augustus is in
The
Resurrection.
world of resurrection, yeah.
The Resurrection is actually a continent, which is
Oh.
it has its own little realm bubble, which means that that's what that magic is. So you will end up going there. It's the beyond that is a different realm. Um, and he's a dragonborn with dragonborn kids, along with Tabaxi kids, and his wife is a Tabaxi. Um,
Cool.
After this, you stay the night by the burial grounds where you bury Augustus yourself, and everyone goes to sleep except for Spitfire. He stays up all night.
And Maurice, who
Yeah,
does not sleep.
doesn't sleep but stays in their tent. In the morning, they all ride onto the ship after Techno tries his best to cheer up Amaris, saying that she got the most justice that she could for Augustus. Um, on the ship, everyone's silent. Everyone's down. Spitfire's mentally hurt and exhausted. Amaris grieving. Phobos angry at what Colossal did to their mother. No one knows what's going on with Astrid, and Phobos and Techno seem to be experiencing the same thing, but Techno seems to be shutting down, silent the entire time. And that cold demeanor is back once more. The session left off with. Oh, no. Sorry.
Okay, good. That's good to know. I love that.
Yeah, the session left off with everyone getting to the baselines where the castle, the kingdom and castle that looks really regal and gold and has these beautiful architecture on it is in the distance. Techno stops and signals for everyone to stop. Everyone to stop. And he turns to Spitfire, puts out his hand, and in a monotone, sinister voice says, I have a deal for you, Spitfire. And then it cut out. And now we're back with it cutting back into frame with Spitfire and Techno looking at each other. There anything you want to
As if
do?
this is a movie.
Yes. I like to because the way I envision things is usually in the style of like an anime or a movie.
Yeah, that's what I do as well.
It's easy for me to visualize that way.
It's the
in my head.
best way to do it. So there is no other way.
There's no limitations in your imagination, so that's why. Especially like in cutscenes, I'll tell you to just you can imagine it. I'll stop and let you just imagine what's happening if I don't have anything to add to the cutscene at the time. So, which is fun. So is there anything you would like to do as you see Techno turn and say this to Spitfire with his
No,
hand?
because this is like, I guess I'm saying the past, because months later things happen. So right now, like last session, Maurice is just completely silent. She's gonna be mute until the
Yeah,
months later part.
she's having it. She's having a time.
Yeah.
Astrid seems on edge about this, while Spitfire is just staring at Techno. They haven't said anything yet. And Phobos, would you like to do anything? Would you like do anything before I continue on?
I just stare at Techno with this look of what the fuck?
You've never known Techno to make a deal with anyone. He doesn't. He seems to not like the feeling of being chained. So you've never seen him make a deal before. Before Spitfire just looks at him and is like, "Depends. What's the deal about?" And Techno looks and goes, "You listen to me, and you live. That's the deal." Spitfire just looks at him, almost like scared of him. Um, Before slowly reaching his hand out and taking Techno's hand, and they shake on it. And as they do, as you know, I've explained before, lords, their chains go on the neck. Other people, usually somewhere on the skin, on the arms, the waist, anywhere on the body that isn't the throat. You watch as Techno's chain clamps around his throat and goes into his hand, and there's no chain connecting to Techno, which means it was a false deal. And you can kind of see Spitfire panic a little bit as he breathes a little heavier and he looks at Techno. And Techno just keeps walking as he's dragging him behind now.
Well, I'll be damned.
The chain is red and silver ish before you see it ignite and you see Spitfire's magic drain out of him and turn this like the chain to look like a normal iron chain that a prisoner would be on. And he just keeps walking. He doesn't wait for you guys to follow, he just walks.
Do that to Spitfire.
And
You'll see.
there I thought they were finally making progress.
Damn, bitch.
Damn, bitch!
The fuck?
Would you like to follow Techno as he drags Spitfire with him?
Maurice just follows.
Astrid
Follow his will.
Astrid follows as well. Everyone's in this mood that's like it's now tense in the air. Spitfire looks terrified. Astrid looks really fucking concerned. And Techno is just numb. You've seen this before, Phobos. You've seen him. This is how he gets when he's working. He gets numb and he gets really silent and he just does what has to be done. It's not a side of Techno you really like to see. As you're walking, the castle draws near. It is gorgeous. It's nice, pretty lands. This place is lovely, you know. And as Techno approaches the gates, the other guards look at him, and they seem almost pissed off to see him.
Damn it! I thought he finally died.
Yeah, that's the type of look that you see that they give him, as they kind of grunt and huff and like, thought you betrayed us from hell. That thing, not seeing Spitfire behind him before Techno pulls Spitfire to the side. He's like, I betrayed you for hell. Why would I have their general? And the two of the guards go flat silent because Spitfire was Lucifer's general for the war that was going on between heaven and hell.
This bitch is planning something.
Which bitch?
Technoblade.
Fucking murders Spitfire now.
He's done.
Murder him.
Maurice would snap to no return.
Especially if Techno did it.
He would kill Techno.
No, she'd kill everyone! She'd lose her fucking mind. Her personality would be gone. She'd just be the bringer of death.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah.
The other guards kind of go silent before a guard. But you know this guard. You know him very well. He works alongside Allium, but he came second place with Techno. Techno was always first. He has this whole I should have been first type of personality. You know that. You know that he's really jealous of Techno. As and his name is, I think I named him. What did I name him?
Jeffrey.
It wasn't Jeffrey. I think it was Jordan. Close enough.
No way! Was he actually freaking close?
Yeah, his name's Jordan.
No
Jordan
freaking
Everglade
way.
is his name. I don't know why his last name has to be Everglade. I don't know where that came from. He didn't have a last name until now. I don't know where those
Everglade.
words came from. Yeah, Jordan
So
Everglade.
it's like Jordan Everglade.
Yeah. But, so he always came second as he looks at Techno and he's like, you know, Allium replaced you. You're not the general here, so we don't have to let you in. So maybe you should go back to where you came from, pig. He
But they
clearly
let
doesn't like
Maurice in?
Yes, they know her. So they kind of notice her, but they're like trying to deal with Techno right now, and the other two guards are now scared because Techno and the second best guard that worked closely with Allium is now about to get into it.
The girls are fighting again.
Can I say something?
Yep.
Alright. Maurice is gonna say something to the guards. They're
All right.
with me.
The guard kind of laughs at you. He's like, "You think I care?" Techno steps in front of you and pulls the Orchard Blade. He's like, "You're gonna let us in. You don't get a choice on this." And the other guard immediately backs down. He's scared. It's clear he knows Techno is stronger than him, and he's like, "Okay, okay." He stood in a more protective stance in front of you, as if that guard was planning to hurt you,
Yeah.
before pulling Spitfire close and starts walking in, putting Orchard Blade right on his back. And
Maurice.
as you're walking through this town, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's all this beautiful architecture and stuff like that. Statues. There's in the middle of like where the water fountain is. There's a giant statue of Lord Michael.
Maurice has seen it all before, but she's just
Yeah.
She's just way too much. She's just feeling very numb in order to appreciate it like usual.
Mhm. The statue of Lord Michael would look exactly like him. Giant wings surrounding a humanoid torso with a head, one large eye in the front, and longer hair. Um, it's made of stone and marble type thing. The eye that's on his front face is made out of a ruby.
Oh, he's like a cyclops.
Yeah, he only has one eye on his face, but his wings are covered in little tiny eyes.
Oh, cool.
Um, his torso looks like it's like tendrils of like muscle wrapped together.
Tendrils?
Yeah.
So it's a very weird way to describe it, but alright.
As people see Techno arrive, people get happy, they cheer and stuff like that. It seems like they're happy to have their general and their protector back. That's how they view Techno. And he just walks through and he starts to put on this persona as he has a slight smile on his face and he waves to some of them. And an older lady, she comes over to him and hands him a few potatoes. He lifts his cape up slightly and shoves all the potatoes in his pocket, and the pocket looks like there's nothing in it. It looks like there's nothing in that pocket.
Infinite pocket!
He's got man privileges, infinite pocket.
Ugh, freaking man privileges.
Your cloak also has a pocket like that, by the way.
Ah, sweet!
It's the inside of your cloak that has that pocket.
I got the man privileges!
It's the same thing with the pouches on your belt, Phobos. Your pouches are just infinite pouches.
Nice.
As as she hands him these things, he smiles down at her and reaches into his pocket. Half his arm goes into his pocket as he then pulls out some seeds. They seem like carrot seeds and some flower seeds and seeds from like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And he hands them to her. And he's like, "I got these while doing some work. I thought you would like them." It seems he's close with this person before smiling at her and walking away. He has relations with these people as he's their guard. And it's clear a lot of people love him and they see him as a protector. The guards don't like him. Every guard sneers at him as he walks past and he walks towards the castle. It is giant because it holds giant people in it. Again, just as large, if not larger, than Adam's place. Colossal is the largest lord. Michael is the second largest.
Well, colossal
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Lady Decay is also as large, almost as large as Colossal. She's slightly shorter. She's the same height as Michael. But
Okay.
Michael has lift off the ground because he floats, so he's cheating. um, Before he stops at the front, so some of the guards kind of nod to him. They're trying to be respectful, but they clearly don't like him as they glare at him, seeing him. It's clear all the guards hate that he's a general. It's very odd.
Cause you're a problem, freaking guards.
They're like, bitch.
Hello? Yeah. Bye. Sorry, my sibling.
It's okay.
Why? What? Why? Okay, bye. Uh-huh.
What?
Resume, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
apologies again.
It's okay. Um, Techno looks back at all of you and is like, it's okay. He says it in a gentle tone, but he doesn't look at Spitfire. It's almost as if he's avoiding eye contact with Spitfire while he looks at all of you. He's like, it's okay. We're going to see Lord Michael. I need you on your best behavior. Please and thank you, Phobos.
God, Aaron, what the fuck? Aaron! Get your ass out of here, dude! Can you believe this bitch?
Hi there.
Injured. No, no, I'm also injured. My eye. Now get out. Hold on, I gotta hold my door. Apparently.
Uh, what were we gonna say, Phobos?
Anyways, continue.
I said I'm good.
Techno looks at you, and his eyes almost say, uh-huh, as he tries to remain serious, as this small little smirk comes on his face, but you could tell that there's still a lot of anger and pain from what you found out about your mother underneath his eyes. Um,
You tell me that.
yeah, he's clearly upset about it as well, but he has to be the general that the holy grounds see him as. The entirety of heaven sees him as this amazing guard that hurts all. He can hurt anything. He doesn't get hurt, but he obviously gets hurt a lot, and you know that because you're the ones that have mended his wounds over the years.
Yeah.
Um, as he's like, "Oh, Maurice, I know that you're upset right now, but whatever happens in here, I need you to trust that it's okay. All right." Um, Maurice, your impression of Michael is that he's a good person, but he does bad things to do the right thing. That's how your dad's always explained him. That's what your dad knows of him. That's what you've been told of him.
Amaris looks to the floor and quietly nods her head.
Techno just says, okay. Astrid, I don't know
Putting
about you.
her last bit of trust right now.
Yeah,
Into
because
she does not lose her friends that she's made along the way.
the last bit of trust in Techno as well, considering he just made a false deal with Spitfire.
Yeah.
Um, and he goes inside. You go inside this giant throne room that's got jewels all over lining the walls, and you haven't been inside the kingdom. You've never met Michael himself.
No, I
You've
haven't.
always just been there. He has jewels and gems everywhere. There's thousands, like there's guards lined from side to side. As Techno walks towards the ball of wings that is around itself. It seems Michael is currently in his wings. Um,
Birdman.
Don't blame him. It's a nice, fun place to be in.
yeah. As
Bookie looks like he's having a seizure.
what the frick?
The fuck?
I have this birthday cake topper that spazzes its lights. And it's currently on, just spazzing its lights, and it's right next to my little Oogie Boogie figure, so he looks like he's in a rave.
Anyways.
Yeah, that'll work. Sure.
Ramdas.
As Techno comes in, you hear the whispering of the other guards. And the whispering causes Michael's attention to be caught as he opens his wings, and he is very similar to the statue as he's pure white, and his eye is just has black ring around it and has that red eye in it as he watches Techno and all of you approach him. Techno in front of you, and Spitfire being dragged behind him. Who Spitfire looks terrified of what's happening.
Probably extremely confused too.
I thought we were friends,
Uh-huh.
or at least friendly.
Yes, I've learned that you have a crush on me. False deal.
Come here, boy.
Bitch.
Nice.
Techno
Anyways,
pulls him on the chain and kneels down in front of Lord Michael, which makes Lord Michael chuckle as he looks at you guys, almost as if expecting you to kneel down to him as well. He is a king.
Almost just
Amaris,
bows their head.
bows her head and wings.
You notice Astrid kneel down and just rest her arms in front of her and just lay her head down, almost as if she's done this a lot. And it
Yeah.
seems to entertain Michael when she does that. She just chuckles at her. Techno looks up at Michael. Is there anything you would like to do before I continue?
No, I'm good.
No.
Okay. Again, this whole part is just going through the motions. Techno looks up at him and says, "Sir, I've brought you a gift. Apologies for my absence. I didn't get much of a choice. I think I was teleported, to be honest." Michael chuckles and goes,
We were
"Well,
kind of yoink.
I know. Aja did that to protect you and her child. Very lovely of her. She's a lovely woman." As he brings up your mother, he smiles. He seems to think fondly of your parents. Would make sense.
They were good
Before
parents. They were good people.
they're good people, completely. Before he looks at Techno and goes, "Take his chains off." As if they're actual, because everybody thinks they're actual chains, that there's no deal involved. Techno stands up and pulls Spitfire to his feet, and he looks terrified of what's happening right now. He's breathing heavily. He's just like he's barely blinking. His eyes are just going everywhere towards everyone in the room. It's very clear he feels unsafe here.
I
As
don't blame him.
I mean, he was at war with them, and Techno looks at him, and I would like you to roll perception to see if you can hear what Techno says to him very quietly.
Give me a moment.
I got a 15.
I got a 20.
All right. You hear Techno as he breaks the chain, so he causes the deal to go off, and just says, "I'm sorry. It's necessary. I don't want to hurt you." And he just turns around and pushes Spitfire towards Michael.
Oh, so progress was made. Goody.
Can I make a perception to see if Spitfire heard that and it hit him at all?
Yes, you can do that if you'd like.
Okay, cool. 20!
Okay. Spitfire, he seems affected by it. He seems to calm down and relax a little bit, but that spikes back up when he gets shoved towards Michael, who is chuckling as Techno kneels back down. It's very clear Techno's used to being knelt down in front of kings and lords and stuff like that. They would be considered lords, but they're also kings.
Yeah. Well, at least Spitfire knows that it is just a little bit of a ploy.
Yeah.
Ish.
Techno knows that he couldn't be here normally. He had to be a prisoner because they're at war. That's what was going on. It's very clear that's what Techno did as he kneels down. Michael clearly did not hear what Techno said as he summons a golden chain that links itself to Spitfire's throat, meaning they've already had a deal. As chains wrap around his wrists as well. Spitfire's already had a deal with Michael as he starts breathing heavier And you watch as Techno looks up as Michael rips Spitfire into the air, starts strangling him with the chain. And Techno instinctively goes to get up, but he like it's a flinch reaction where he goes onto one knee, but then he kneels back down on both.
Amaris also she's just not looking, but she's flinching every sound she hears.
Mm-hmm. You could hear Spitfire suffocating on the chain as he's coughing. He's pulling at it. You could hear the chains moving, rattling. As Michael says, it's been a long time since I saw this, General. Uh, you know, I'd love to torture you myself, just like I did your father, Spit, but I can't do that. And I can't really trust you with Techno. Techno seems shocked to hear that as he looks up and like almost fear in a weird way. Like he seems scared, but he doesn't at all. He just seems more surprised.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh, shit, that's not according to plan.
Um, and Spitfire seems nervous as he's pulling at the chain still, trying to stop the suffocation. As Michael drops him on the ground, he gasps for air, and he's just panting now on the ground. Um, Techno looks up as Michael goes, "How can I know I can trust you? You know, you're walking around with a slave and a general. You know, how long have you had him on that chain? How long? You've been gone for maybe a month now. How can I know I can trust you?" As he moves closer to Techno, he's floating, but he's leaning down. And Techno looks up. He's like, I'll do anything to prove that I'm trustworthy, sir." You see Techno's hand shake a little bit as he closes it in a fist and puts it behind his side. Like he's trying to not to show that he's scared. It's very clear that he's getting shaken up by this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Michael looks and he's like, "A tournament. One creature, 5 people. Kill them all. Well, kill the creature. You can't kill people. We're not killing people, okay? But kill the creature,
Damn it.
defeat all the people, and we'll trust you again. Of course, you still have to do all your duties. Otherwise, well, why would we even want you back? But I saw you flinch when I pulled him to his, chokehold, I guess you can call it. So what was that about? You got a little bit of attachment to your enemy? No,
It was
like,
just a reaction. We've been through a lot. Please leave him be.
Michael looks at you and goes, "Was I speaking to you?"
No, but I'm deciding to be a bitch.
Techno's like, he breathes out really heavily, like, "I told you to be good." As he looks back at you and he shoots you a slight, like, "Stop it" look. And he's like, "Look, they're right. It was just a reaction. I'm so used to helping people. That's my whole job is helping people. So when I hear someone in pain, it's instinctual. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it." Michael's like, I say, "Well, that's an acceptable reason." As he looks at the other guards and gestures them towards Spitfire as they take his armor, his swords, everything like that off of him. And he's like, "Oh, and let's not forget this." As he goes up to Spitfire and he grabs him by the back and shoves him down. He doesn't have hands, by the way. They're like magical spectral hands. They're like golden and silver hands. He shoves him down before pulling one of the guards' swords out of their hands with the magic and running it along Spitfire's back on 2 parts of his clothing that seem to have been sewed up in the past. And he rips those stitches. A giant wings spread out of his back. They are moth wings. Um, as he just looks down and he's trembling. His giant crystally moth wings that are absolutely gorgeous. Are you okay over there? I heard you make a sound.
Mm-hmm.
You like moths?
Yeah.
Spitfire kind of looks back, and the wings instinctually like try to close around him as Michael grabs them, and he screams in pain because they're really delicate, obviously.
Nuh-uh, don't rip them off, bitch. Do not.
And he pulls Spitfire to look at him. He's like, "Looks like you truly are an abomination. Trying to hide it from your friends, whatever these people are to you." captors, whatever you view them as, Spitfire. Trying to hide that you're an abomination from them. Being a tiefling is enough, not to mention partially fey. What just happened?
Would
Being a tiefling's enough. I'm a tiefling.
Yeah,
and
Just the
and
gasp
I'm a
of
mixed breed.
offensiveness.
both
I'm
of
a
you are mixed breeds. Yeah,
I'm a
both of you are mixed breeds.
human. I'm a human, which no one likes humans. And a fae.
Yeah. As Phobos is a tiefling, celestial, and Azamar mix. They are what Michael would call an abomination. And also, he doesn't like tieflings very obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Before he throws Spitfire to the side, and he looks at him and just goes, "You look just as pathetic as your dad did when I had control over him. Too bad he ran off." Spitfire's just breathing heavily. He looks scared, but also the mention of his father's causing him to tear up. Something happened to his dad. You don't know what, but it's clear that Michael was, had a deal and stuff like that. And it's clear that Michael has made a false deal with Spitfire, as Spitfire has
Can I try to use a little bit of my water magic to stealthily create a little little water thing imagery for Spitfire to calm him down a bit?
Yes, you have to roll stealth for that.
Okay. What dice do I have to use for that?
D20, the big boy.
Natural 20 again.
God damn! Stop having luck. Stop it. You stealthily create this image of what do you think would comfort Spitfire?
Just just recreating the little happy moments that we've had.
You recreate him and you hugging the things of you together. You see him and Techno getting along, Astrid getting along with him, all these things, and he's staring at it instead of looking at Michael as he starts to breathe a lot slower as he's breathing slowly, it's getting to normalize, and he's just calming down. It seems to have worked.
Yeah.
As Techno is just kneeling there. He's not looking at anyone, he's just on his knees. It's clear that he's been treated like this for a very long time. Considering Phobos, you know that he's been trained like this since he was 10. Michael looks over at Techno. He's like, "No, you're Allium's prize soldier. Who am I to tell you that you're bad at your job or you should stop doing certain things? That's his job. He's your boss. But I am his dad, so I get partial reign over you." Techno breathes a little bit heavier as he looks up at Michael. He's like, "But I love Allium. He's my favorite person in the entire world." We don't talk about other people. Clearly, he's referring to Adam. He sees Adam's mistake. It's clear by his tone that that's fully what he thinks. As he uses one of his wings to motion Techno upwards, but it's brushing, like, the feathers are slightly brushing against Techno as he stands up. And he laughs. He's like, "Well, welcome home." Yeah, I guess. It's not really your home, but your home for now. I have a place for you to stay. Um, it's you could thank Aaron for that one. Maurice's father. He bought it a while ago, just in case he got separated from his kid. Always good plan. Good father, isn't he?
Maurice just perks up immediately and staring at Michael.
So, and Allium has been so sweet and delivered letters there after this whole debacle went gone. There's letters there waiting for Maurice to read from them. It's wonderful. You'll be staying there for as long as you need. Um, as long as you want. Of course, until you show that you're worthy to be trusted. Techno just nods. He's like, "Thank you for letting us stay." He's like, and you know, because of this whole thing, the apologies like that, I think you're trustworthy enough to have a nice little slave with you. As he looks at Spitfire. Um, Techno seems to not like the idea of having a slave, but he's like, thank you, I guess. It's a, it's a big responsibility besides the fact that I have to protect an entire town. Michael laughs because he thinks Techno's making a sarcastic joke. Meanwhile, Techno's just over here complaining about his job. Um, is there anything else you would like to do before I continue?
No, I'd like to leave. I'd like to leave this. I'd like to say goodbye to this bitch.
Um, as the guards lay the armor next to Techno, and Techno puts it in his pocket. Yes, he could shove an entire armor piece in his pocket. He shoves fucking Spitfire's swords in his pocket, and all of Spitfire's weaponry, everything Spitfire had, into his pocket. Everything Spitfire had is now in Techno's pocket.
Okie dokie.
Before Techno goes to, like, he's fully stood up now, and Mike goes, "Oh, and just because you made a mistake," before raising one of his wings and backhanding Techno into a wall, you hear a very eerie crack sound as he hits the wall and kind of slumps over a bit. Techno is now holding the back of his head as blood is starting to go all over his hands, and he's holding one of his tusks on. He's holding one of his tusks on, as you can see a crack all the way around it, and he looks up at Michael, and he's like, "Just for flinching. You know, mistakes can't go uncorrected, Techno. You should know that." As
One of
Michael
Amarice's one of her 4 eyes, has turned red, and she just kind of keeps her head down so Michael doesn't notice.
Michael turns around as he does. Techno gets up, and you watch as he takes the blood from the back of his head, wipes it on his tusk, and it fuses into his tusk and heals him, and the back of his head starts to heal on its own as well. It's Suppose you never knew about anyone hurting him at work or anything like that. You knew about like fighting, but you never knew about if the people he's obeying were abusive.
They're very fucking abusive.
He's never told you anything about being hit by someone that was supposed to be on his side. He's only said, "Oh, just another battle," you know, guarding and all. That's usually the tone he takes with you. As he stands up, the chain that Michael had on Spitfire levitates into Techno's hand, and he goes, "Don't worry, the bed's equipped with a slave cage already." The bed, as in like the house. He meant the house has a slave cage already. As he walks and sits back in his throne, and Techno nods. And he's like, "Don't worry, I'll have work for you, Techno. You'll be pretty busy. You've been gone for quite a long time." And Techno just nods, obeying before walking out. Michael tosses Maurice the keys to it. Because her family that owns the house.
Okay, I catch it, I guess.
Yoink.
Yoink.
I give another bow with my wings and I walk off.
Yeah. As you leave the place, you see people staring at Spitfire. It's very clear they don't, like him, but also his wings. It seems his wings are attracting people to him. Some people look at him with ill sexual intent.
Before Phobos.
Did you say sexual intent?
Yes.
Before Phobos left the fucking place, she flips the Michael off and walks off.
Well, Michael's already in his wing, so you didn't see that. So the other guards, what the fuck?
This bitch got away with texting him.
I'm going to cover up with my huge ass wing. I'm gonna shield his wings.
Spitfire just smiles at you a bit as Techno kind of pulls him along, make him walk a bit. It's very clear Techno now has to put on this act of owning him.
Yep. Maurice doesn't care if she has to if she's not hiding anything. She doesn't give a shit. Her place was always a neutral. She doesn't take a side. That's the whole point of the dream.
As you get to this house, it's gorgeous. It's a wonderful house. It's one of the biggest houses on the block. Seems your father wanted a place for you to stay that gave you enough space as if you needed to grow or anything like that. It's very, thought out
I'm
well.
gonna open the door and approach and just open it up.
Lovely.
Bob, and let everyone else go first.
Okay. Techno, Spitfire, Astrid, and Phobos go in, and then you enter your house. It's gorgeous. It's decorated exactly how your room is decorated, but on a larger extent. It gives you a sense of home.
Her one eye is still red, and blood starts to rain down from it.
You notice as Techno lets go of the chain and gently presses on the chain, and it disappears from Spitfire's neck. And he's like, "There we go." There's something like Techno's voice is very dull, and he's like, "I'm gonna go."
Techno.
Hmm?
You didn't tell me they were hurting you.
It's fine. It's normal.
It is not fine. That is called abuse.
You think I have a choice?
Amaris, just
You have every choice. I know you worship a shady god.
Amaris just gets the other two into a different room, so you guys
let the married couple argue.
Yeah. and I'm gonna just like help Spitfire calm down, and Astrid. So we just get them to a room.
Yeah, Astrid, you and Spitfire are all relaxing. You're helping Spitfire.
I think upstairs.
Yeah,
so
you probably
we don't
went
even hear
upstairs.
what's going on. Yeah, so we don't hear what's going on.
All
right.
Let's continue
Anyways,
before yelling at each other.
Go ahead.
Let's continue yelling at each other.
That's abuse. I know you pray to a shady fucking god, and I know you have some weird ass fucking abilities on your side. What the fuck?
You don't understand.
No, I understand. I understand that gods are fucking assholes that deserve to be annihilated from this universe.
Look,
That includes your shady god.
Phobos, I know I didn't tell you about it, but it was to protect you. It's always ever been to protect you. So many things.
If you don't tell me this shit, I'm not gonna know, and if it happens to me, I'ma deal with it because I won't know.
Look, maybe I should tell you about this stuff, but I guess I learned not to from your mother.
I'm sorry?
She
was always honest. Honesty was something she taught both of us.
She hid things from you to protect you.
Well, if they're dangerous, then that's not really protecting me now, is it?
No, it's not. So maybe I should start telling you these things.
You don't say.
We'd be honest with each other now, okay? I'm sorry I didn't tell you these things. Allium
We
treats
might
me the
not
exact
be
same
in
way.
love, but we had vows, dumbass.
His eyes kind of shift to the side for a moment when you say we're not in love, and he goes back to looking at you. As he breathes out, he's like, okay. Allium treats me the same way. And so does Michael.
I'm not surprised Allium does. He's a fucking cunt.
I know. Well, Allium does worse than just beating me, but that...
I'm gonna cut his dick off. I'm gonna cut him. I will fight him. I'm fighting Allium.
Your mother
Ain't
did
nobody
that.
her mom's gonna get away with it.
Your mother didn't properly teach you what consent was. I heard it when Lady Eve and Adam were talking about consent.
Man, I'm
Consent's where you say yes to someone participating in sexual acts with you.
Bruh, next your mic, you're screaming something at your top. You're topping and it's so funny.
I'm sorry? Wait, huh?
Your mic is topping over and it's just cutting out every time you do it. It's just static.
I'm yelling a bit.
Yeah.
My sound gate.
It feeds it though. It's hilarious.
It's great.
Anyways, continue. Sorry.
That man, when you were younger, that your mom pulled off of you, he wasn't playing. She told me that she wasn't playing.
My mom did actually kill a man.
Yes. She wasn't falsely accused, Phobos. She killed someone to protect you. It wasn't right, but it wasn't false. He should never have pushed her, made me force her into the beyond. I didn't want to do it, and it happened.
Well, I knew
She
you didn't
wasn't
want
in
to
the
do it.
wrong.
You cried into me the night after.
Shut up. I don't cry anymore.
Loser!
That's... what that means is consent. You have to say yes to it. You have to want it. If you don't want it,
Well,
it's
this
wrong.
would have been nice to know since I was a kid. I just hit the cat with my skirt.
I don't know why your mother wouldn't tell you this. I don't understand. She wanted to protect you, but she tried it in the wrong way, and it caused me to think that's the way to protect you, and it's not.
Duly fucking noted. Anyway,
Techno gently takes your hand.
you should go
And
off before you get beat more. Since, you have jobs to do. I'll
gently
keep
takes
an eye on everyone. I have your axe. We'll be fine.
he nods before taking your hand and going, I've never meant to hurt you. I promise I never did.
Me.
Before
Bitch.
letting he looks at you before letting your hand go and goes, well, I got general duties to go do. So
Always
do you
grabs
want to
his
get home?
hand
He looks at
before
you.
he leaves. I give his hand a kiss as a bow, and I'm like, be safe.
Sorry, hold on. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have I think I have pretty good hearing.
Yeah, you do.
Probably you and your
So,
fucking rolls.
so I think I heard a majority. I think all of it.
Yeah, they were yelling pretty loudly at each other.
Yeah, but I made
doesn't
sure.
normally yell too, no less.
But I made sure that Astrid and Spitfire didn't hear any of it.
Like, here, muffle your ears in my wings.
So then I kind of sent down a little magical buddy that gives Technoblade a nice hug.
Okay.
And then also
The little
Phobos
buddy
as well.
runs and hugs Techno. He doesn't understand what it is, but he's like, chill. And when Phobos, when you kiss his hand, you see his face looks a little more pink, and it's starting to look a little more obvious that he might enjoy this affection that you're giving him.
Be safe. Don't get your head cut off. That's all I have to say.
He
Amaris
laughs.
is gonna keep that little buddy with you.
Techno chuckles at
So
Phobos' words
she can have
before
eyes
flicking
and
them on the
ears.
forehead.
She can have eyes and ears just in case.
Okay.
It's water, so I can go invisible.
Well, Michael could detect magical auras, so
Shit, motherfucker.
it might not end up staying with Techno.
Bitch.
And your spells can only last so long as well.
That's true. Okay,
Oh,
so
my knees!
I guess the little buddy only stays until you reach the castle.
Mm-hmm. Damn it, you escaped! Techno flicks Phobos' forehead affectionately, as he normally does. He's like, see you later, nerd. See ya, loser. He laughs as he walks out. And he turns around and is like, wait, how am I going to explain this to... Hold on, Michael's going to question why Spitfire's not with me. Now I have to come up with a plan. We're watching him. Yes, you're watching him because I can't trust him around general duties. He'll kill someone. Somehow. Or he'll steal information. He'll steal information if he gets free. Yes.
Or you lock him in the cage. You locked him in the cage.
Sure. The Techno pulls a bottle of water out of nowhere and slurps it as he walks out.
The little buddy is just sitting on top of his head until he reaches the castle.
Okay. It's in the shape of that fucking Technoblade stuffed animal.
Yeah, it's just hugging the top of his head. Comforting him.
And this is where the first week begins of downtime.
Cool.
So, I don't remember who explained how it works to you next.
We just experience little tidbits, I think.
Yes, so what I'm going to have you explain... Why are you trying to steal my juice?
The fuck is going on with next?
Bella's trying to steal my juice.
Not your juice!
I don't remember if I explained it to you, Phobos. Now your name's just Phobos. The way it's going to work is that this first week, I'm going to ask both of you a prompt. I'll probably ask Sarah at first so that you can understand it better. I'll ask, what would you like to do for this week? You'll explain that. I will give you options of all three of your friends as in party members. If you decide to go with them and interact with them, you get that interaction. If you don't, then you don't. You can both go, or neither of you can go, or one of you just goes. Whatever that your decisions are, it goes.
Cool.
So this first week, Amaris, what would you like to do for the first week of being here?
I'd like to read all the letters that apparently my dad has. Send
Um,
me.
it's written in your mother's handwriting.
Oh
The
shit.
first one is written very. It seems very quick. She says, I know that you're. I don't know where I teleported you. I did it in a panic. I hope you're okay and safe, but I, your father, he's not doing all right. I'm going to Cloud's Reach to Allium. He can heal her. Him. He could heal him. He's got magic that could do that. So I'm gonna go there. No, he doesn't. But otherwise, I'll see you when I can see you. And that's the end of the first note, signed off with her name. And the bottom of it says, P.S. We love you. Um, the second note is her saying, I made a deal with Allium. You don't know this, Phobos. You now know that she made a deal with Allium. He'll save your father as long as I help the other maids clean his castle. It's a large place. It's not that much of a deal. I could do it. I did it on the train. I cooked and cleaned. It's fine. Your
Okay,
dad
so
is gonna get better.
Amaris is kind of taken back by that. She's like, "What the fuck?" Oh yeah. So I don't. I'll just wait until the I'll let you choose if you want to have the point where Amaris tells her friends about this, the information she got, or we wait until after the tidbits.
You will have that opportunity after the tidbits or while watching the arena
Okay.
to tell them that.
All right. Anyways, continue.
Um, your mother's handwriting kind of gets scribbled a bit. You don't know what she was trying to write there. Before it says, I'm writing this the same day before I could get Allium to deliver this note to the house that you would be staying at in the Holy Grounds. Um, we found Torpedo. He, he's infected. He's drooling silver. I don't know what's wrong.
Can
I
I
hope you're
roll to
safe.
see what my mom tried to write, please?
Yes, you can.
That's a 19.
Uh, it was it was scribbled out, but you couldn't read that it says Aaron is, and then it seems she got distracted as her pen kind of went off. So she was writing your dad's name and saying something about him.
That doesn't
Um,
make me feel nice.
before obviously this is clearly a few days later as the next one. It starts off with your mom's handwriting, and it says,
Uh-huh.
"Good news, your dad's fine. He's cured. Allium cured him." The salt in Nex's eyes when I said that. Cut down. You glared into my soul. Um, Allium cured him. He's okay. Your dad's okay. He's just a little sick right now, which means Torpedo can be cured too. I don't know how to get Allium to do that, but maybe another deal will work. He seems honest and nice. He always has been. So why not another? And then it skips and you see your father's handwriting. It might have been a few days later as it's a little shakier than usual, but he's clearly still healing as it's written. This might be a little weird, but I miss you a lot. It's weird to say that since we've never been separated, but you can imagine their voices as you read it.
Yeah,
He,
so she's starting to tear up a little bit, but all the tears are blood.
he just states, "I hope that whatever happened on the road, that those two people that we sent with you, Technoblade, I think it was, the old general. I I don't know. I made a deal with Allium to fix Torpedo. I hope he can. I'll see you eventually, my sweet little starlight." And it ends with again, in both your father's and mother's writing, "We love you." So it's written twice. It's signed by both of them.
Is there more?
There's one more,
Okay,
and
I'd
it
like to
is
read both of
written
them.
in only your father's handwriting. As it's stating,
Oh,
I don't. It just says I don't, and it just keeps writing I don't until it goes, "I love you," and that's it. It's like he didn't know what to write, so he's just repeating the same thing over and over again, and then just goes, "I love you," and then it's signed by him.
Papa Reese is extremely concerned, and now there's like so she has those bloodstains all over her face now.
Mhm. Is that
Some of the
what you?
notes, some of her blood tears got dripped onto the paper as well. Also, because of that incident with her grandfather,
Yeah.
she no longer cries normal tears. All she cries is blood.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
Um.
And she's very easy to trigger now.
Yeah. Um. It's clear that your father hopes that you're still the same after everything that happened with the note prior to the one with just I don't. It's written in his handwriting, but it looks slightly scribbled, like he was trying to write it quickly, but it's just saying I don't, and then it just says
She
I
just
love you.
Yeah, she just puts all of them close to her heart, and then all of them she keeps in her bag or whatever, her inventory, I guess.
Pocket
Yeah, her pocket, her cloak pocket. She
her
just
cloak
keeps them
pocket.
with her. She just keeps
Um,
them with her whole
when
time,
she
the whole
puts
time.
the notes up to her chest, she could feel her parents' hearts beating as one with hers.
And then she puts it into her cloak pocket.
Yoink! Whoop. All right.
Whoop.
Is there anything else you would like to do with your week?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or is that it?
I want to check on Spitfire real quick,
Um,
man.
within the week, you know that Techno is going in and out of the house constantly. Sometimes Spitfire going
Yeah.
with him, sometimes not. Um, and Spitfire right now, he's inside the house. He is currently sitting next to the cage because Techno refuses to let him sleep in that cage. He's just sitting
Uh-huh.
next to it as if he's like trying to obey what's supposed to happen, but he doesn't want to go in it because he doesn't want to disobey Techno's orders of not going in it. So he's just sitting there.
Uh, Spitfire?
Spitfire looks up and he's like, "Yeah, what's up, kiddo?"
Oh yeah, I looked to see if his wings are still out. Are they?
Yeah, he tore holes in the back of his shirt, so they're just constantly out now.
Do you want me to fix that shirt?
He looks at you and just goes, I don't know. If you do, Michael will just rip it again. Let's wait until we get out of this place. How about that? He almost says that in a hopeful way, as if he's hoping that, Techno will get them out of that situation and they'll leave soon.
Do you mind if I sit with you?
Sit with me as long as you want.
She sits down and snuggles up, just puts her head against his shoulder and just says, "I read my parents' letters."
Oh, were they good?
I don't know.
Well, if there's letters, that means they're alive. And that's the one thing
I'll
we
s-
can hope to see them for.
I'm just gonna save it for maybe the future to tell you what's really in them.
Okay.
I'm not ready.
His wing wraps around you when it touches you. It's like, it's soft. Imagine a really soft blanket. That's how his wings feel, which is
Oh no,
odd.
I can imagine how soft it is because I actually held a bird pretty recently and I'm very happy about that. So I know how soft feathers are now.
His wings feel
So
like feathers, but they're not. They have this
yes,
like a
I know.
like fur.
It's that type of soft fluff.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm imagining. All right.
Um, they're very crystally as well. You can see as the light hits them, it like shifts a little bit of a rainbow in it.
I'm just gonna say one thing.
Hmm?
One last thing, I guess.
Okay,
Your wings are nice. You
thank
know,
you.
they kind of complete you, honestly.
Well, I guess I'll keep them out then. Almost as if you sparked a little bit of that confidence back into him, that he lost after, Lord Colossal called
Yeah.
it a disappointment that his father just, doesn't like him. It's clear something
Yeah.
happened to his father now.
Yeah. And then Amaris fell asleep as soon as she rested her head again. Still
Okay,
with those blood stains all over her face, a little bit more than usual.
Bubba's your turn. What would you like to do?
Aw.
What would you like to do for your first week?
Attempt to read some of Techno's books.
Okay, roll with disadvantage. You're illiterate and dyslexic. You made them
Yeah,
both of
that's
those, so you
right.
have disadvantage
Well,
with reading.
hold on.
That's not necessarily wanting to roll. It's just wanting to look at the pages and figure out words.
You can
Okay,
get
That's
me to
it.
read them. You can get me to read them, dipshit. Do you want to deploy the Amaris or not?
Nah.
All right, awesome. I'll just be here then.
You can't really make out too many words, like smaller ones, like you know the word God. You remember seeing that one a lot. Um, you found one of his books about gods, and there's small words like is and how, and that's about all you can really get from this book. There's pictures. You can see a
There's
picture
pictures.
of the gods and stuff like that. There's no picture for the goddess of life. There's no picture for the goddess of the moon. No picture for the god of sun, obviously. Because how the fuck would you get that? And no pictures of the god of death. But you know what death looks like now. You only really know who they are by their pictures. So when you go by the pages with no pictures, you're like, oh god, it's either one of these four. So that's about all you know. Would you like to do anything else?
Not really. Just read. Just stare off into a wall. Try to
Alright.
calm my anger down.
Alright. You're reading, trying to read, and staring off into the wall.
Trying is putting it very lightly.
At one point in the week, both Amaris and Phobos witnessed Spitfire and Techno talking before leaving the house together, probably late at night. It's around 11 p.m. It's dark out. They're leaving together. You could choose to follow or drop the interaction completely.
I'm going to follow.
Okay. Phobos, would you like to drop it or just
curiosity.
follow? Phobos, next.
What?
Would you like to drop the interaction or follow? Techno and Spitfire are leaving together.
I would just drop it. Because Phobos doesn't really want to leave the house.
Okay. You drop this interaction. Mm-hmm. There is an interaction that's like the last week of being there that both of you are forced onto.
Cool.
Because it's important to the story. As you follow Techno and Spitfire, they sit together. They're just enjoying their time as they're talking. It's just normal talking, and Spitfire they're just talking like normal people would before Spitfire kind of silences himself and Techno softly goes, "Those night terrors you talk about, what are they about? You didn't tell me what." And Spitfire looks at him and goes, "I can show you." And he's like, what?" Like, just Michael's magic is preventing me from using them. You know how deals work. Whatever you are that makes your deal go on my throat. He seems uneasy about not knowing what techno is. And before Techno nods, like, right now I have control of your magic because Michael willed it that way. I can let you use it if you'd like. I'm not gonna argue. Spitfire smiles before casting an illusion magic. The place around you shifts as it shifts to this gorgeous land, and you see creatures from the beyond running around. Spitfire looks around like maybe 17 when it's happening as he's trying his best to fight, but he can't. He's dodging. But his dodging looks like more like dancing. Um, like an elegant dance when he dodges, type thing. Before a very loud scream rings out. As it does, you hear Spitfire's 17-year-old self, which is a little high pitched and shaky, scream out "Dad!" And before turning around, see Lord Colossal and another creature look over at him, and there's blood on the ground. And he starts he whistles, and that deer that you see with him, Nadia, runs over as he gets on top of her, and you watch as his swords, his weapons, soulbound to him, snapping into his hands, and all you can hear is him slightly sob as he says, "No, don't leave me." That's all he says as he's riding on this deer, trying to get away from these creatures. But something attacks the deer, and he causes him to fall, and he starts to fall into the river. The river's taking him downstream. As it does, you see this man. It seems humanoid, but he's in some sort of armor. The armor's sparking electricity off of it as he watches.
What the fuck is happening with
you
you
okay
next?
there?
What fell off the TV stand?
Ha, loser.
What? What's going
Fell off
on?
the
I can't
TV
even
stand.
hear a thing. What's
Fell off the TV stand in the room. That's what they
Oh,
said. I'm laughing at it.
oh,
Um, Continuing. The electricity is sparking off this armor as he just watches Spitfire drown and like get pushed underwater and float. And that's how that little sequence ends. And Techno kind of looks at Spitfire before another one starts up, and it's Emmy, his wife. She's being
oh
torn
no.
apart by things. It's just a rapid switch of everything, every way that she's dying, every way he's watched his wife die. She's being torn apart, stabbed, electrocuted, fucking everything like that. And then it cuts to the one with him and with Techno in his arms, and just the explosion. You can see Spitfire's kind of breathing heavily before Techno wraps his arm around him and just pulls him into just like, it never was your fault. I hope you know that. You lost everything. I'm sorry. Techno's showing remorse here. He's talking gently and stuff like that. It's clearly that you guys are bringing out a side of him that he doesn't often show. As the illusion falls back down, and you can see the pain in Spitfire's face as he's clinging onto Techno.
Maurice, is that the end?
Yeah, that's the end of the illusion.
All right, so Maurice just kind of walks back in.
Yeah, so when you walk back to the house, you go in. It's the end of the night. Um, in the morning, one of the mornings, Astrid is kind of cooking dinner. Would you like to interact with Astrid? This will activate the interaction.
Yeah, sure.
That goes to both of you.
Bob,
Next.
Bobios,
Wow.
stop being distracted, bitch.
I'm always distracted.
That is true. They are always distracted.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyways, would you like to communicate with Astrid or not?
She is in the house.
She's
I just
cooking.
look at her, stare at her,
So you would like to be in the
and
room
then
while this
wander
interaction
up and
happens.
hug her arm.
Okay. Astrid smiles at you and gently pats your head, and she's like, you know, this place isn't that nice, but I'm going with in a not nice place with you guys. It's nice. She's basically, in her own weird way, saying it's nice to be here with you, even if this place isn't good. Like a comfort thing.
Yeah. Maurice is just kind of sitting at the dinner table and just leaning against the chair. Like she's rocking the chair. The chair is on life support. She's gonna fall down if she rocks one more.
Astrid puts the food down on the table and urges both of you to eat as she sits down. It's just you, Astrid, and uh, both of you and
Bobios.
Astrid in the house, and that's it.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Phobos. Hello,
What?
motherfucker. Yeah.
I'm
You
sorry,
are part
I'm
of this interaction.
stoned.
Stop being so, dude.
Oh,
I'm
what's going
looking
on?
at. I'm looking at you,
Why are you
bitch.
staring me down? Phil just looks back at them like, what do you want? What do you need?
I'd like you to pass me the water, please.
Okay, here you go, kiddo.
Thank you.
Um,
Her hands are very shaky. You can see that she's spilling a bit of water when she's trying to pour.
as this interaction is going down, a knock is heard on the door as Astrid immediately gets up and opens it. When she opens it, you are greeted by Ambrosia. She looks terrified and scared as she hugs.
Motherfucker, Ambrosia, what you doing here, bitch?
She was in hell last you knew. Now she's all of a
Yes, I
sudden here.
know.
She immediately tackles Astrid to the ground and she starts crying. And she's like, I thought I lost you. I can't. And Astrid just rubs her back. She's like, I'm okay, love. And it's very clear now that they're in a relationship with each other.
Lesbians!
Oh, wait a moment. So that
Lesbians!
so Amaris just stands up as she heard Ambrosia's voice. She stands up, was about to hug Ambrosia to ask what's going on, and then just stands there confused.
You watch as Ambrosia kisses Astrid as she just chuckles and goes, I'm okay. I only broke it because I don't know. I just wanted to be with you. I didn't want to leave.
And then both of them just heard an audible, oh.
And they both start laughing a bit.
She kept saying that. She's like, She's very confused at this very moment.
And Berger looks over and he goes, Are you a little confused that I'm dating your party member?
That's not what I'm confused about. I'm confused about when.
We've. How long have we been together behind your husband's back? Uh. 3 years now?
3 years?
And Berger chuckles and goes, She doesn't live on the train. She physically can't, considering. Thank you.
Because of her what? Because of her what?
Considering. Because of her deal with her husband. Their marriage is a deal. Basically, she's stuck with him. So, for now, that's just how it is. The deal makes a spell. The idiot thinks that she's attracted to men, so any man that touches her sexually or with romantic intent, he can summon himself and kill if he so desires. But with women, it doesn't work. And he didn't really equate for Astrid being a lesbian.
I'm only surprised at the fact that I have another aunt.
Astrid chuckles and just goes,
And you didn't tell me.
And Berger goes, okay, I should have told you, but Astrid asked me to keep it on the down low. But I don't really want to do that much anymore. And I could trust you. You're not gonna hurt her for
What do you mean? I would have loved to know this.
um just chuckles and goes, It's I'm sorry, hon. We should have told you. And Astrid just kinda standing there quietly as she just stares at you. I didn't know I had a niece and that I was taking care of her.
This whole fucking time.
Yeah. Um and the rest of the night goes with Ambrosia now staying with you. As night falls, the next day dawns, and Techno, you could hear Michael's voice go across the entire town
Oh, hell
saying,
no.
calling for Techno to come to his trial.
Hey,
As,
Nex, how you feeling about that?
Nope, I'm gonna lose my husband.
Techno gets up. He has Spitfire on the chain. Everybody leaves. Ambrosia is with Astrid, but they're not acting lovey-dovey in public. They're just walking together, acting like friends. Two women who are best friends.
And they were roommates.
Yeah,
Roommates.
basically that mood.
Yeah.
As you get into this giant arena, Techno's separated from you. Amaris, you get Spitfire's chain to hold at now.
Oh, hell.
As
Okay.
Spitfire walks with you. He's not making you pull him, he's just walking with you. As you're led into these gorgeous front row seats with Michael standing sitting behind you as he smiles as Techno's pushed into the ring. He's still wearing all his legendary armor, but his demeanor goes back to that cold one before the sounds go off and
Alright. Zoning out no more. Let's get full into this.
right next.
Don't bully me.
We will bully you all we want. Stop zoning out!
Make me.
I'll come in there.
Ben, splash cold water on their face.
No,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't want to.
Headset on my head.
I don't want to break their electronics, nor do I want to overstimulate them.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually do it. It was just a joke.
As Michael stands up, his voice thunders and erupts around everyone, and he starts talking. But he's not talking about the battle right now. He's like, I think I should remind you all never to go to Void. You know the creature that lives there, don't you? As he looks down at you guys, almost looking for an answer from you guys. Spitfire just looks up at him. That seems like a normal thing. Everybody, like other people are cheering yes, but he's waiting for your answer.
I don't have an answer, man. I don't have an answer.
You don't know the creature on Void, which is an island,
Mm-hmm.
so your answer would instinctually be no.
So
He's,
I just kind of keep silent.
um, he speaks out. He's like, "This is the tale of a creature that likes to give the title of Storm of the Void." As he kind of, it's like a whole thing, like as if he needs to say this every single time. He says, "It is said that something lurks in the void, constantly wandering and hunting people and monsters down. That nothing is safe from it, and when it appears, it leaves no survivors. But if you're lucky enough to have survived by some miracle, survivors will all tell you the same thing, the same on what they saw. A figure engulfed in lightning with glowing blue eyes and explosive beams of lightning coming off the figure. From the cover of fog, and as quickly as the storm rolled in, it disappeared, leaving nothing but destruction and death in its wake. Some say it can even take out a lord. That is truly terrifying, is it not? As other people, they're acting scared. They seem like people are getting uppity. But Spitfire seems to just be staring at him, not taking this, like, not fully, like, it's like he's taking it in, but, like, not scared of what's happening.
Mm.
Michael continues with his spiel as he says, and that they're afraid to face it. Some think that they will never encounter the figure, but if you start hearing the sounds of storm and like of a storm and the crackle of lightning, there's no point in running. It's already found you. It's already too late. You're dead. He kind of says that in a sinister tone, and I need you to roll
Dear Lord.
for
All right.
for like a charisma saving throw, including you, Phobos. He's trying to scare you
Yippee!
with this story as well.
I got a
I'm damn.
19.
Okay, you're not scared of this story, but it does
I
seem
got a
to be
4.
interesting.
All I'm thinking to myself is, man, this bitch really likes hearing himself talk.
He does. It's very clear that he does.
Yeah, so Amaris is like smiling through it, and then just like, shut up, already dead.
Um,
I got a 4.
you're terrified of whatever this thing is.
Whoa.
You don't know what it is, but you're terrified of it, and you don't want to go to Void all of a sudden. You feel like you should never go there. That's not no.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Um, as he chuckles, he's like, "Now on to the main event. Of course, the story is very important. I hope you all enjoyed it." As he's clearly talking more about it. He seems. It's almost as if he's terrified of it, but talking about it makes him feel better about it. Um, and he looks over and he's like, "Technoblade, the first thing you'll be fighting, well, a dragon. Clipped its wings, so it can't fly away from you. Have fun."
Amaris looks up a bit from when she was staring at the ground and just looks like absolutely disgusted. Clipped its wings. She's like, in her mind, what the
Um,
fuck? A
as
dragon?
as Techno looks towards the gate, it opens. You see the dragon slink out. It's a black dragon as it's slinking out, and you can see its wings are broken. Its bones are sticking out of it as it's dragging behind him. You can see like it was black fire coming out of its mouth as well. Um, as the fight goes on, you can see Techno get burned several times. He's getting hit, but in the end, he ends up slicing its throat open, and the blood pours onto him. And the
Maurice is
entire
not looking at this.
the entire crowd is cheering. They're absolutely enthralled with it. And as he finishes, everyone hears a portal rip open behind them. Would you like to turn around?
Yes, please.
Hold on. I need to grab the other person.
Oh, boss, what's going on? Why portal?
Right, Phobos?
Um,
Hear it all this
Oh,
part.
uh,
Birkenix.
What the fuck?
What the
Um,
fuck?
sorry, I'm pulling him up. So you have Lord Michael sitting behind you, and then this portal opens. But you hear a very familiar voice say,
Oh
"Good
god.
job," as you hear clapping coming out of the portal. Um,
Uh-oh.
and when you when
Reggie.
you turn around, you see Allium standing behind you. This
Oh,
man,
great heavens.
to describe him more to you, Sora, he's got wings around this, uh, around wings around this ring that's around his head. There's several eyes in the middle. They're all red, actually, not like the picture. The picture they're gold, but they're red. Um, he has a nice white suit on as he looks really regal, and he's like, "I missed my general." And Techno looks up and you watch as Techno's eyes. They're really bright red. They're like a pretty red color, like ruby. And you watch as they
Mhm.
dull and they shift to like a dull red as he just stares at Allium. He's like, "Well, I heard that you got to prove yourself to get back to be my general. So, why not? Your last not component, I'm great at speaking, is my new general. I think you'd really love that. But I'll prepare him for you. Plus, as Allium is now inside the thing, he places his hand on Techno's shoulder. He's like, "I've always viewed you as a son. Really great."
Wait,
Your
whose hand did
parents,
he put in his shoulder?
on Techno, as Techno just stares up at
Okay.
him. Not on Phobos. He doesn't say anything to Phobos. He just walked right past them and went down there.
Or just glares at him.
Yeah. He puts his hand on Techno. He's like, "It's a shame your parents died. But hey, my parents died. Look how great I've become."
Oh, this bitch needs to shut up.
Yeah, he's cocky like that. He's like, "But let me help with that." And he puts his hand on the burns. You watch as Techno's skin heals, and Techno just smiles at him. There's just a smile on his face as he smiles at him. No. Put your weapons away, bitch. Who wants to fight Allium? I know they do. Um, as Allium goes, "Well, I'm gonna go prepare my general for your fight. Enjoy your little fun, Techno. I know you'll win." As he goes through another portal, crackling open, you could
Who is this
see
general?
you could see in the portal, you could see part of it, and you see your mom. She's cleaning his throne. As he smiles at her, she happily smiles back and
I
waves as the portal closes.
scream. I scream. Saying, "Mom!"
Her eyes shift to the portal before it closes. So she's safe. She's completely fine. She was just cleaning his
Yeah,
throne and
like,
she's smiling at him, type of thing.
I was standing up. I quickly dart up and just say and scream that.
Michael's like, "Oh, so my son has found your mother. That is lovely. Uh, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. It'll be fun, Techno." Um, and you watch as he fights a few guards. But then the second last one, not the last one for the general, but the second last one. Techno's won all of them. Everybody's excited about it. Techno's drenched in blood. Like, these guards are almost dead. He doesn't fight to the death because that's what Michael told him not to do that. But it's clearly that,
I guess except for the dragon.
yeah, the dragon was a fight to the death because they don't want dragons around because they're intelligent and Michael doesn't like that. Um,
Honestly, I'm happy for the dragon because
yeah, he was suffering. His wings were broken and
yeah.
torn. So
Yeah.
Tector just put it out of his memory.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Um, you see a dragonborn. She has potions. She seems really nervous, and she looks at Techno. And she's like, "I shouldn't know." And Techno goes, "Gonna introduce this one too, Allie, fucking Michael." And he looks up at Michael and he's like, "Now," and I will because don't assassinate, please. What is this? Put it in your box. Techno's like, "Yep, I'll put it in my box." Just immediately just drops what he was doing as he looks back at his opponent. "I heard someone follow me."
The fuck?
uh, I can't read their name because I don't have that open enough. Hold on. Hold on, let me. I'm trying so hard to read your name, but thank you for following me. Um.
Random person.
Jesus Christ! Wasn't expecting you.
Home.
Next. I don't know how to pronounce that either. It's a bunch of letters.
Oh, that's just straight gibberish.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you for following me, gibberish.
Thank you for
Anyway,
the follow. Anyways.
as Michael kind of laughs before saying, Technoblade versus his sister and my daughter. You can see Techno kind of tense up as he looks at, and he's
Oh
like,
hell no.
it's too bad that,
Oh.
your mother died and came back as whatever the fuck you are, Techno. I should have been, I don't think you should have really been born, Techno. Your mom was
I don't
mine
think
until
you
she
should have been
died.
born.
That's true. You could see the she's very clearly a cleric and doesn't know how to fight. He's like, kill your sister, and I think that you'll have the strength to do anything. As he looks at the Dragonborn who's shaking and looking at Techno, as Techno goes, all right, and you watch as he drops Orphan Obliterator and takes his legendaries off. He's like, I'll go easy on you then, and he just lifts his hands up. He's gonna beat her basically, as she has this sword that she definitely doesn't know how to hold right or use. Um,
Maurice looks like she's about to throw up.
as they're fighting, you hear her go, please don't do this, and you watch as magic comes from her. She's charming him. And she successfully charms him as he looks at her. He starts to settle down. She's like, I'm your sister. You don't have to hurt me. And as she does that, she opens her arms. Techno willingly goes up to her and hugs. They're hugging. Which seems to make you can hear Michael grunt. He seems almost unimpressed. Before you watch as she lifts this sword up towards his back. She basically is manipulating him into letting her hurt him. And she softly says, see, we're family. You don't want to hurt me. And the moment that
Can I try and break him out of it?
you could try.
Can I with a quick like you okay, what do I roll?
You just tell me what you're gonna say.
I just kind of yell techno.
You yell Techno, he looks at you, but he seems confused. He doesn't understand what you're yelling at him for. As she says, she's like, look, you don't have to kill me. As she's raising the sword up behind his back, he doesn't know it's there. We're family.
And then I yell behind you.
She's like, don't listen to them. And he's now looking back at her. Um, she says the words, I'm trying to do something. God damn it.
Fucking goddamn it, fine!
This charm cannot be broken. Story based.
Motherfucker, fine!
What? As she raises the sword, she looks at him and says, I'm family. You don't want to kill me. We're family. The moment "we're family" comes out of her mouth, you watch him snap out of the charm, and he opens his mouth and bites her throat, his tusks going into her flesh and rips. As she grabs her throat, screaming in pain as she's starting to bleed out. And he looks up at Michael, and Michael goes, he wasn't expecting Techno to do that. He's just in shock as his daughter and Techno's sister is now bleeding on the ground, drowning on her own blood because Techno just ripped out her throat.
Maurice expected this. She's happy.
She's happy.
But she's gonna throw up.
Oh.
Good job.
What?
Good job.
Michael kind of just slowly collapses. Like, guards, bring her to the infirmary. Okay. I need to go to the bathroom, so entertain yourself.
Entertainment. Next.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How do you think Phobos is gonna react when I tell them about what my parents have done with the invitations?
What?
Okay, so you clearly haven't listened, correct? Hello?
Sorry, I'm sipping juice.
Okay. Well, how do you think Phobos is gonna react when I give the piece of information about my parents But I found out through the letters.
Mm.
The deal with the freaking god dude.
Sh- won't probably won't have much of a reaction, to be honest.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Phobos isn't much of a reactive person.
That's fair.
I mean, unless it comes to Technoblade or their family, they don't really have a reaction to much things. They might be surprised.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not family.
Ah,
Well, currently all I've known you for is, a month.
No, a few months.
yeah, it's.
No,
Oh,
'cause I thought you said it was
welcome
only been a
back.
month.
Oh yeah, it's only been really a month and a week, really.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But
That's fair.
you've bonded. But I don't know what else. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Anyways, continuation.
You hear Alan's portal come back around as he sits down next to Phobos,
Oh, hell no.
but he's like sitting in between Phobos and Amaris.
Whoa. I start to get a little uncomfy.
Um, he looks at Astra and Astra just looks away. She seems uncomfortable. Uh, Michael goes, "Oh, you're back," and Alan just goes, "His next fight is in the cage. My general is ready." Um, as he says that, the cage starts to open, and Michael knows exactly what to announce as he yells out, "A true test of who should remain general. Technoblade or Aaron." Sorry, I need to cough and it cut me off. Aaron Parma.
What?
As Aaron, like your father Aaron steps out, but he's wearing military gear. He's wearing like royal
Maurice
guardsmen.
jolts up and screams, "What the fuck?"
Um, your dad looks at you. You see crack in his glasses. His eyes are dull. The same dullness that Techno's eyes get when he's near Allium. As they're looking at each other. Um, and Techno hears you scream, "What the fuck?" And he looks. He's like, "What do you mean, what the fuck?" He doesn't like. He knows what your father looks like, and he looks at your dad. And he's like, "Oh no."
Maurice is ready to freaking say fuck you to the freaking lords and fly down there.
Allium looks at you and goes, "Don't worry. It's not a fight to the death. Just a little spar. You'll be completely fine."
What do you mean? I don't give a shit. You're not. What have you done to my fucking dad?
He made a deal.
I don't
He's
give a
now
shit if
marking
he
it.
made a deal.
Allium stands up and grabs your wings and starts bending them. "Do you dare defy me?" And your dad immediately looks at you, just shakes his head no, and tells you to stop. That's what his eyes are giving you.
Fine.
He lets your
Deal.
wings go. You can see that his anger is brewing as he moves over to Astrid and pulls her into his lap, and she seems so uncomfortable.
Maurice is gripping her shoulder right now.
Your dad seems a little worried about you before his eyes walking back with Techno's. And now they're circling each other. It's just, that's all that's happening is that they're circling each other. It's clear that Techno doesn't want to hurt your dad, so he's just kind of circling. And your dad doesn't want to hurt your friend. Allium seems frustrated at this before going, "The thing is to fight." And all of a sudden you see something glint in both their eyes and they both look enraged as they stare at each other.
You enchanted them? This is supposed to be a trial.
Well, the trial doesn't work unless they fight. Don't worry.
This is human.
Wanna fight? What do you mean?
It's inhuman. Is it now?
Yes.
That we shouldn't talk about what your mother has done in the past.
Oh, any more words and Maurice is about to fucking smack.
Now, fight. As he just growls that out, Techno and Aaron lunge at each other. Their blades clash, and he shoves Techno off, and Techno kind of stumbles a bit. Your dad's a strong general. He's
Oh,
obviously trained.
for human, he's a military freaking beef of a man.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing and he's strong.
Though he has no magic, he is buff.
And as normal, your dad's sword shifted to his keyblade. A keyblade that you know. He's talked about a lot. It's called No Name. Let me bring it up for stream. Um,
The Keyblades from the actual game, by the way.
yeah, I know. That one I know is from the actual game. I have no idea if the other one that I have is from the game.
Yeah, okay,
It should shift into the one that I definitely have up. There you go. No Name. It should shift into that, along with his Buster Sword, that the hilt of it would be purple. It shifts from that to his Keyblade. But it doesn't shift into No Name like it's supposed to. Something that you know about your father. So he talked about something. He talked about a Keyblade that only infects other people's Keyblades if their actions are heartless. And it would be called Heartless Endeavor.
Ooh.
As you watch your
no.
father's Keyblade shift into that one instead. It's purple, it has a nice little heartless pin on it, and it's pretty. You also know.
Maurice just whispers underneath her voice and says, "No."
I will put it up Orphan Obliterator so that it looks. But they're both purple, how pretty. Phobos is just peeking out from the corner. You
What
know
was how
that.
you reacted to all this bullshit?
Just glaring at fucking what's his face, Allium.
Maurice is no longer sitting. She's just standing, still super ready to just get up and go down there.
You know that your
Obviously she can't.
dad is not heartless. It is caused by probably the magic that Allium is forcing them to fight.
She does know this, which is why she said no.
He spins the Keyblade around as he just continues staring at Techno. Techno doesn't know anything about this Keyblade. But what you know, Maurice, this Keyblade can kill anyone with one hit. Doesn't matter how strong they are. Doesn't matter what they are. It is stronger than a god. People say it's true death is what it stems from.
Mind if I can I act, please? I beg.
It depends what your action is.
I'm gonna take the crystal that that Phobos has given me, which is still in my inventory, break it, heal my wing, and bolt my ass down there.
As you bolt your ass, you could feel fucking a wave of dizziness hit you. As all of a sudden, all you just see is Allium's face. It's just twisted. So you're just now it seems disorienting, but you can still see what's happening around you.
Can I deny this dizziness?
Yes, you can. You can roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you get through it.
Okay, cool. 20.
Okay, you get through this dizziness just as you watch your father slash down at Techno, and he blocks it with Orphan Obliterator. And you watch as Orphan Obliterator starts to shake, and like it's starting to break. It's melting. The legendary weapons aren't breakable, as this thing is melting it.
I'm gonna trap them.
How are you gonna trap them?
Both with a mixture of rock wall and my water magic.
By the way, Allium has stood up, and so has Michael. Michael does not like that you're defying him.
Yeah,
Neither of them do. They're also both. Allium doesn't fly, by the way. He just walks usually and teleports. But Michael is in the air. He's very large. He's very angry at you. As you watch this sword go down, you cast your magic and it bumps both of them off. You see Technoblade get hit by his own sword, cutting his mouth open as he falls to the ground.
At least he's not gonna be dead.
And your dad just shakes the Keyblade and slashes the earth and the water, and he starts walking through it like it's nothing.
I just stand in front of my dad.
He shoves you to the side.
I keep standing in front of him.
He just keeps shoving you.
I try to trap him again.
Every time you trap him, he starts breaking as Technoblade starts getting up.
Can I try and break my dad out of it, please?
Yes, you can try to beat Allium's magic.
Okay, what can I use? I need some to help.
You have to persuade him out of it, but you have disadvantage because it's a spell.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to wrap my wings and give him the tightest freaking hug in the world and just keep screaming, please don't, you're not heartless, this is not you, please, please, Dad, I just got you back, I cannot lose you again.
You watch as his eyes flicker. They get brighter for a second. He looks at you. He seems terrified. Um, and he looks.
I keep repeating that. No, I don't stop repeating that. Some words are different than what
The
I've said
Keyblade's
before,
not
but
shifting back. And
yeah,
you know that it's not shifting back to no name. It's still Heartless Endeavor as he puts his hands
yeah.
on your cheek. And he looks at you and says, I have to do this. You don't understand. I have to. I don't want to. I have to. And he just starts repeating, I have to, as his eyes dull out again.
I keep repeating what I've said before. I'm not letting him make this decision.
Um, you do feel Michael's magic grab you and rip you away. As Techno's still under this spell as he's walking towards him. But you watch as Techno laces his hand around his blade, and now he's purposely cutting himself. And he says something in Pig Latin. Phobos, you would know what it says.
Do
Um,
I?
yes, you speak Pig Latin because he taught you it.
The one thing you
Right.
know.
And you hear as he like hurts his hands on, like he cuts his hand on the sword. In Pig Latin, all of you, of course, hear Pig Latin, which I would translate, but it's going to take me too long to fucking say it in Pig Latins because I have to figure out the words placement.
Mhm.
Um, but what you hear, Phobos, is blood for the blood god as he swings towards Aaron and knocks the Keyblade
Please
out of
no,
his
please.
wrist and grabs his throat. He's like, surrender. And like a part of like the eyes get brighter for a moment as he's like, I don't want to hurt you, so surrender. And you watch as your dad's Keyblade shifts back to no name.
Amaris is screaming right now and
Uh,
just like tugging at Techno and like pushing him.
you
She's
watch your dad
crying.
smile as he looks up at Allium and she goes, I forfeit. And Techno lets him go. As Allium seems not really satisfied with that, but he just rolls his multiple eyes, and he goes, fine. Techno, you're back to being general. And he snaps. And you watch this chain breaks off of your father. He looks almost terrified, and he's like, our deal's off. You're no longer my general, so I don't have to cure your son. As he walks through the portal.
What?
Wow.
No.
Your dad seems like he's heavily breathing.
He's Dad, I fucking hate him. Why'd you try to make a deal with him?
I don't. This wasn't. He's just staring down, and Techno looks at him. He's like, "This wasn't. This wasn't what I saw when I was in the future. I didn't see this. It was supposed to be peace. What changed? What are you?" As he looks at Techno, he's like, "I've never seen you before. Not even a future. What are you?" And he's angry all of a
Stop
sudden.
asking him that.
Techno just looks at him and goes, "Whatever you want me to be." Maybe I
I'm
did
gonna
destroy your timeline, but that doesn't matter now, does it?
Stop it.
Your dad takes a deep breath. He's like, "Doesn't matter now. We have to get Torpedo out of there. I don't." Your dad just walks away. He's stressed now. He's scared of what will become of your brother, basically.
Uh-huh. I'm scared of what will become of my brother.
Um,
How the fuck did my die go? I'm missing a die. What, bro? Hold up.
and
Is it?
with that, Aaron is now sitting with you in the house. He's not interactable as he is just he's writing. He's like incessantly writing. Like he needs to be writing.
Yeah.
He's like writing a
Yeah.
plan. He's trying to figure out what to do.
Yes.
As your mother and your brother Torpedo are in Allium's castle,
Yep.
which is fun. Okay. You can also hear like mumbling they're safe underneath his breath.
Amaris is just completely mute. She
Uh,
hasn't even like moved in the last second.
Yeah. As week goes, I feel like I know what both you're gonna end up doing something, but I feel like Amaris will probably end up sitting by their father the entire time.
Oh no, she hasn't moved away from her father.
Hmm?
She has not moved away from her
I can't
father,
hear
but
you, and melding isn't helping.
Try not to make it.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Who did you say you didn't hear then?
Phobos.
Me.
Oh, okay. What is Phobos doing?
What did you just sort of?
All right, continue what you're saying.
What? Okay, so Amaris is sitting beside her father, but she just hasn't moved. She's just in her own brain at the moment.
Weeks pass.
Kind of,
You're
yeah.
constantly near her. She's constantly near her father as weeks pass. Everybody's interacting. Techno. You can see people improving their personalities. As your dad seems even more cheerful at some points because he seems to have made out his plan, and it's getting better. You can hear him. He sounds genuinely happy. He thinks your brother's gonna be fine. He thinks your mom's gonna be fine. He completely believes these things. And you trust him. You do. As as you watch, everybody's starting to get better, and you can feel you're starting to start to open up a little bit more, and your dad seems completely like thinking of this. Techno is constantly out with Spitfire, sometimes without. He's coming back with bruises, cuts, and stuff like that. He's obviously fighting. With the last week, the interaction that both of you are now forced to interact with because that's important. The entire party sees Techno walk out and goes into the training area.
Mm-hmm.
And as he goes into this training area, everything cuts to black because we're going to leave him off on a cliffhanger. Because my earbuds are dying.
Literal.
So this is the cliffhanger. So basically, something's
Really?
wrong with Techno. He seems really like, as you watch him walk, he seems angry, but he also seems upset, but he seems numb. There's something wrong.
Okay.
And everything cuts to black. Very eventful.
Yeah, I'd say.
Um, and we didn't get to the cutscenes, which is great. So
I picked a fight with God,
yeah, because Alien
You
is
did.
called a god.
and I won a
You
tiny
did.
bit. I did.
You
Pieces of
fought
shit
against
don't
him a
have
bit.
pieces of shit don't stand a chance against me. Fuck you.
The whole thing of this is that I have a set story for that little arc line. It's supposed to happen where your father forfeits anyway. He doesn't want to hurt someone. He forfeits and his
Yeah.
blade goes back to him.
I just couldn't hold Amaris back because that is
She
her
wouldn't have.
character. No, she wouldn't be able to.
She's scared of losing her dad, which is understandable.
She's scared of losing the people she found.
Yeah. Scared of losing the people she found, scared of losing her dad, and right now, Techno's having a time, so. Everyone's
Just
feeling a lot
dead,
better
man.
now, and you're starting to become your normal selves. Of course, there's still that grief and stuff like that, and there's still that feeling of anger and all that, but it's more of like you can move on, you're ready to, you're determined to do these things, and you can press on, and you still have your personality, of course, with the alterations of what you went through. That way, so that Amaris can be her loving self.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Yay,
I miss playing the happy-go-lucky little Amaris.
yeah, I thought you would, so that's why I was like, okay, we're gonna wait for that to happen. So that's why that month thing happens. You basically spent a lot of
Yeah.
time with each other. You got closer. You view each other as friends and starting to become family because of the fact that it's been 3 months and you've been through so
Part of
much
me,
together.
a part of me kind of wants the dad to join the party. Honestly.
Right now, he is part of the party.
Yippee!
He is currently part of your party, and your new task, besides of course trying to solve Egrador and getting rid of it, and probably killing Colossal since both of you hate him,
Mm-hmm.
is now to make sure your mother and Torpedo are
Hold on.
safe. So, thanks.
He's a whack ass bitch, and I'm gonna murder him.
Yeah, one of my earbuds have died.
Oh no.
They're a ticking time bomb, bud. So if stream abruptly ends, that means both of them died, and I'm sorry, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. But for now, we're still alive until my earbud dies, because I don't have any other mic. I just got
Alright,
another
I
notification.
gotta go. I gotta
Okay.
go.
Well, good. We're just ending. So
Bye.
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 Bye. Winkus.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed. That was it. Every other session is on YouTube. So, and this will eventually be on YouTube as well. So, bye. My voice is giving out.